in Bensenville. I'm Joelle Ritter, Village Trustee, and I'm your host this evening. Tonight we're going to be discussing music in the park, which is one of my favorite topics. And tonight with us we have Bob Flood, who is our Director of Special Events and Hospitality with the Village. Thanks for joining us, Bob.
Thanks for having me.
So, you're new to the Village. Why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself?
I have generally a restaurant kind of background. I spent the last 5 years at the Arrowhead Golf Club in Wheaton, trying to run things in their restaurant, bar, patio area. I've worked for some restaurant families in Chicago, the Carlucci's, the Ruiz family, which owned El Jardín. And, you know, just looking forward to getting involved with Bensenville and trying to help plan out some fun events for the people in the village.
Well, great. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
So we're going to talk about one of the biggest events we have here in Bensenville that I think is one of our best, and it certainly highlights Bensenville, and that's Music in the Park.
Absolutely.
So why don't you start out by giving us a little background on Music in the Park?
Music in the Park is something we do here in town. We've been doing it for the last 15 years. This will be our 16th year. It grows, you know, every kind of year. We usually get about 1,500 people down there for the concerts. The concerts themselves run from about 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Right in the Village Square, right next to Village Hall. It's a great kind of environment for families. We'll be running the car shows during. We'll be doing the farmers markets before and leading into the shows themselves. And, you know, the other towns try to copy the format. We've kind of set an example for surrounding villages to give the residents a nice kind of night out with the family.
And we're one of the few villages in our surrounding area in the DuPage County that does something like this. Why don't you give us the times and dates of it?
It'll be every Wednesday night. The first one is June 11th, and they will continue on Wednesday nights through August 27th. Like I said, the music starts from 7:30 to 9:30. It's 2 hours of live music. We kind of expanded it from an hour and a half last year into 2 hours, and the response has been great. People seem to really enjoy it.
So I'm going to add a little bit to that because you said the music starts at 7:30, and it being new, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on that, and
Please.
That's the fact that we actually intro the band at 7:30. However, many times people will start showing up here at about 6 o'clock to start placing their chairs
Absolutely.
out onto the lawn. I've driven by Town Square as early as 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and people have come out and laid their chairs out so that they have their spot if
No
it's
kidding.
a favorite band that they follow.
Well, that's
so
great.
be prepared for that.
Absolutely. No, I mean, you know, get there early, I guess, to get the space if you're going to be fighting people at 2 in the afternoon.
And so we're talking about the people that come to Music in the Park. And one of the things that we try to do is open up and have it available to seniors. Can you give us a little bit of background on what our seniors can expect when they come here?
Absolutely. What we've done is we've kind of set aside a special section for the seniors. It's going to be kind of in between Village Hall and the park itself on the sidewalk of Dirking Way over there. That way it kind of gives them a nice spot to kind of view the bands, yet not too close to the stage, to kind of hang back and enjoy the atmosphere as well.
And it gives them a close proximity to the restrooms as well.
Oh, that's a great point. I hadn't thought of that.
So we're going to have the same format as last year. Like you said, we'll start at 7:30 and we're going to end at 9:30. So what type of music are we going to have at Music in the Park this year? Where are we going to gear it towards?
You know, it's generally geared towards families. We don't want to keep the younger kids at home and only bring out mom and dad. We want everybody to come out and have a positive family experience. So the music itself can range anywhere from, you know, the 1960s through the 70s, 80s. You know, a lot of the music that kind of has resonated over the years, popular stuff with both age demographics.
Okay, and our lineup is going to be online so that anybody that wants to see it can be seeing it as we're sitting here talking.
Absolutely.
So is there any charge for the event?
The event is absolutely free. Like I said, this is something we like to do for the residents, just to kind of come out of their own volition and really just enjoy the downtown and the, you know, nice summer nights, nice starry nights, summertime. Enjoy the outdoor atmosphere.
And we always have such great weather on Wednesday nights. For some reason, the weather cooperates, and Wednesday nights are always a perfect night for us.
Well, I'm going to hold you to that now.
So we'll see. We'll knock on wood about that one. So what other activities? We're going to have actually music, as you said. What
Live
other
music,
activities are
absolutely.
going to be offered?
You know, featured in the square over there, we're going to have free carriage rides. There will be some face painting, some caricatures done for kids, and then we're going to have a 50-50 raffle with a portion of the proceeds going to the food pantry. So there's a lot of participatory stuff that people can get in really at any age, you know, from the kids to the parents.
Actually, our 50-50 raffle, a portion of it goes to the food pantry, but we also have each one of our service organizations throughout the village participate on that on a weekly basis as well.
Excellent.
So the Lions Club, Kiwanis, the Bensenville Community Foundation, BBAA, I'm naming them off the top of my head, so I'm going to be missing a few. But we also have our service organizations participate as well, so that we do make it a well-rounded community event that we're inviting everybody to participate in.
Excellent.
So if you want to find out more about Music in the Park, why don't you tell us how people can do that?
They can go to the village website, obviously, www.bensenville.il.us. That has the flyer kind of listing all the different bands. They also can try, we'll be listing the events during the show. We'll be advertising future events that way, so they can keep in touch as far as that goes. Or they can call over at the Edge Ice Arena. They can get the information over there. The number is 630-766-8888. They can call over there with any kind of questions, and we'd be happy to answer them.
Great. I know we're adding a couple new things for Music in the Park this year, and we'll talk about those after we come back after our short commercial break.
Hi, I'm Village President Frank Soto. Many residents have contacted Village Hall, our administrators, and our Public Works Director, Joseph Karachi, regarding questions and concerns about the grade cross separation at Irving Park Road and York Road. The video is intended to show you some of the timelines that are involved. But once this project is complete, it is an incredible benefit for the residents of Bensenville. It will alleviate the delays that are caused by the intersection, and also will improve overall traffic flow and accessibility to Irving Park Road through Bensenville.
The York and Irving Park intersection is one of the most congested intersections in all of the Chicagoland area. We are working diligently with the Illinois Department of Transportation to try to correct this problem. Working with IDOT, we have come up with a $64 million project to try to improve businesses and our residents' flow of traffic through the area. As I mentioned, 2012 was the completion of the first bridge. We're looking at 2014 being the completion of the second bridge. After that, we'll have an intersection improvement project for the entire intersection with wider lanes, wider cross sections, safer traffic movements. This is all part of a plan that hopefully will start on the intersection improvements in 2014 with a completion sometime in the early to mid part of 2015. We are looking at this project as being a major impact on our businesses, on our traffic flow, and on the village of Bensenville in general. If you have any questions, please feel free to call the Public Works Department at 630-350-3435. Thank you.
The Water's Edge Aquatic Center is conveniently located in the Redmond Recreational Complex in Bensenville. The Water's Edge is home of Fenton High School and Wahoo swim teams, featuring an indoor 8-lane lap pool and diving well. The Aquatic Center is available for private functions and parties. Learn to swim, stay in shape, or enjoy recreational swimming year-round at the Water's Edge Aquatic Center.
The Bensenville Community Library, serving a community of readers. Whether you're old or young, a lover of words, music, or computers, the library has something for you. Check out our new Kindles, toddler jams, story and movie nights, or a variety of other activities offered. For more information, call us at 630-766-4642 or check out our schedule on the web at benlib.org. The Bensenville Community Library, celebrating 50 years of library service.
As one of Chicagoland's premier ice skating facilities, The Edge is home to the Chicago Steel and Robert Morris Eagles, featuring 3 sheets of NHL regulation size ice, offering skate programs for hockey players, figure skaters, and recreational skaters of all ages. The Edge is also available for private functions and parties accommodating from 10 to 200. Whether you're a novice or an Olympian, experience the spectacular Edge Ice Arena.
Staying connected is important, and at the Village of Bensenville, it has never been easier to keep up to date with what's happening in our community. On your phone, PDA, PC, laptop, or tablet, the Village of Bensenville website offers easy integration, so you'll stay connected at home, in the office, or on the road. To follow us on Facebook, simply go to the Bensenville homepage and click on the Facebook icon in the lower left-hand corner. This will take you to the Bensenville Facebook fan page. Once there, click the like button to add us to your newsfeed and receive regular updates from around town. To follow us on Twitter, simply go to the Bensenville homepage and click on the Twitter icon in the lower left-hand corner. This will take you to the Bensenville Twitter page. Once there, click the follow button to add us to your Twitter feed and receive regular community updates. To receive email and cell phone notifications, click on the Notify Me button. This will take you to the Notify Me dashboard. Once there, simply add your email address and/or cell phone number at the top of the page, and then select which service you would like to receive updates from. The most common update section is in the Newsflash Bensenville News. Click on the envelope icon for email alerts and on the phone icon for phone alerts. You can choose one, the other, or both. To watch our public access cable show or board meetings, simply click on the Bensenville Web TV button on the lower left sidebar menu of the homepage. This will take you to our streaming center, where you can play current and past Bensenville cable TV shows and board meetings. To pay your Bensenville utility bill online, just click the Online Payments button and then follow the instructions provided on our secure payment site. If you have any problem, concern, or question to tell the village, then click on the Bensenville Action Hotline button. This will take you to the Action Line dashboard, where you can explain your issue and receive a response within 48 hours once you have clicked the Submit button at the bottom of the page. Staying connected is important, and at the Village of Bensenville, it has never been easier to keep up to date with what's happening in our community. On your phone, PDA, PC, laptop, or tablet, the Village of Bensenville website offers easy integration, so you'll stay connected wherever you are.
Back to Spotlight in Bensenville. Again, I'm Joellen Ritter, your village trustee, and I'm the host this evening. And we are talking about music in the park with Bob Flood, director of our special events and hospitality here in Bensenville. Thanks again for joining us tonight, Bob.
Thanks for having me.
So we appreciate you being here to give us details on one of our favorite events here in Bensenville, Music in the Park. So let's get down into the nitty-gritty of Music in the Park. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, other than just the music, what's going to be available in terms of food and beverages?
We've been fortunate enough to have a lot of our local restaurants participating. We have many different civic groups and churches, as well as the local restaurants that'll be out there selling, burgers, hot dogs, fries, pop and water, popcorn. We also have some tacos and burritos, a little bit of different alternative fare to the traditional Americana type food.
Hot dogs and hamburgers.
Exactly. The village's own old-fashioned ice cream shop right downtown will be available, given its placement right down center of the street. And we have a few local vendors: Mama Maria's, Bella Vista, Acapulco, El Toreo, as well as 2 chefs will also be there on hand selling food and drink.
Excellent. it's always nice to know that some of our local restaurants can participate. They can get their name out there, and it gives our residents a chance to be able to, like you said, taste a little bit of what everything Bensenville has to offer.
And that's the idea. You want to create revenue for the local businesses, the people that have decided to set up shop right here in the village. And it's an excellent chance for them. You know, we don't charge them a fee to kind of come be a part of it. We just want them to be able to showcase their fare and kind of go from there.
And as we had talked about earlier in the show, a lot of the people do start getting here as early as 6 o'clock. We have not only residents that come to this, but a lot of people from surrounding communities. People actually take the train to get here.
Absolutely.
So that way they can plan on being able to eat dinner as well as have a great night of music.
And even if they get here early enough to where the food hasn't been set up for the event yet, they can still stop into the local shops themselves and try them out right there on site.
Absolutely. So we talked about some of the things that we have to offer at Music at the Park in terms of food, the characters, different kinds of entertainment other than just the music. Why don't you give us a little bit of detail about what the Classic Car Show brings to the village?
Well, every week we feature cars generally from the 50s, 60s, 70s. Occasionally we're lucky enough to maybe get some a little earlier than those points. But, you know, we set up the cars for people just to kind of come and take a look, pop the hoods. Kids have questions, the owners kind of hang out near them, and adults have questions as well. Just to get an idea of how the vehicles are put together, what the features are. We'll play some oldies music. It's kind of a throwback to that whole Happy Days kind of timing where, you know, it's got a little bit of a feel of old times, but it's more of a reward for the people who are living here today, and it kind of grows the knowledge. I mean, you never know when somebody might be inspired to become a car guy when they're a young kid who gets to live it.
And I have to tell you, these car guys love their cars.
Absolutely.
And they are very, very particular about people being around their cars. So one of the things that we do is make sure that we have a good police presence there.
Absolutely.
So that the cars are protected
as
property of the owners, but yet they can showcase them.
And we do ask that, you know, in the area near where the vehicles are parked, we don't really want any bikes, strollers, skateboards, that kind of thing in that area, rollerblades. We want to keep a protective bubble, so to speak, as much as we can, just to protect the paint jobs, the chrome, as well as the investment.
And we want them to be able to keep coming back as well.
Absolutely.
And feel comfortable and safe about doing it. So is there a way that, I know we have specific car people that come here from groups, and
Sure.
Trustee Maury Bartlett's the one that arranged to do that, but if we had local citizens that wanted to be part of the car show, is there a way for them to do that as well?
You know, if people wanted to bring a specific vehicle down, it's kind of a while parking spaces last kind of situation. We ask that they get here around 6 o'clock. Again, that might lead to people showing up at 5:30. But generally, we start accepting vehicles around the 6 o'clock hour. One thing we do is that we prefer that the type of car that they are bringing tends to fit the theme of that evening. Obviously, we don't want motorcycles with sidecars here on car night and vice versa. All that information, again, can be found by contacting the Edge Ice Arena or checking out the website. We'd be happy to let people know if they have any questions.
So we talked a little bit earlier about the type of music that we have here. Can you tell me how we go about getting that music and selecting it?
Well, generally you want to get music that suits the entire crowd. Honestly, we have, like you said, different villages involved, different age groups, and some of the groups that we book tend to cater to that. When you think about the classic music, you know, an Elvis type theme, or 80s music, or, you know, we have one band called the Fortunate Sons, who are a cover band, I should say, of CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Obviously had a big following, that band. American English is a very well-known Beatles cover band that has been playing in the area for years. And, you know, we tend to strike first with the bands that we think best cater to the residents of the village, and then just kind of work our way out.
And we kind of use historical information too to guide us, right?
Absolutely.
So if we know that American English has a huge following and it's people that our residents, it's a group that our residents enjoy, we'll continue booking them.
Of course. And, you know, there's the other one, Seventh Heaven, is another band that always travels well. You know, I've been fortunate enough to see them a couple times in my past life, and I was excited to see them on the docket when we came, because they always put on a great show, and the crowd always enjoys it as well.
Great. Okay. Just trying to make sure we're covering everything about music in the park here so that our viewing audience gets a good idea about what music in the park is. So we talked earlier about the fact that some people will tend to start showing up at approximately 6 o'clock to make sure that they have a space. So you want to tell us a little bit about how many people usually attend and where they situate themselves when they do come?
You know, depending on the numbers, we can do anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000. We generally get about 1,500 to 2K Every Wednesday night, it's local people. I mean, I know that there are teachers that teach in Bensenville that will plan on these events on Wednesday nights earlier in the week just to make sure they're part of the fun. Obviously the earlier you get here would be the better as far as finding a place to put your vehicle. We will have signs up for where parking is allowed, where it is not. We're doing our best to kind of guarantee that there is an accessibility to the events, to make it as easy on the guests coming out as possible.
Great. And if people can bring their own chairs or blankets?
Absolutely. Chairs, blankets, whatever you're comfortable in. I'd be shocked if I saw someone lifting a 50-person metal riser into the grass, but obviously we want people to have as much fun and to be as comfortable, experience the sound and the entire environment that we're trying to create.
Okay, super. So we talked earlier and you mentioned in passing earlier in the show about Farmers Market, which is something new that we're going to have that is going to be at the same time approximately as Music in the Park on Wednesday evenings. So why don't you give our viewing audience a little bit of detail on what our Farmers Market is going to entail since we're starting that new this year.
We're trying to, just like you said, try something new. We're actually going to do it a little bit earlier, so those people that can get here before the concert starts, it's a nice chance to kind of peruse the selections, maybe fill a bag of some fresh produce, things like that, before the show even starts. We're going to set up the farmers markets on Railroad Avenue. People will have the chance, obviously, to interact with those vendors, and we're still actually finalizing who the vendors will be, but we've had a lot of good interest, and it's something we're excited to do just because we feel the people of the village and the surrounding areas deserve it, and it's a fun kind of thing. I know a lot of people might get up early Saturday mornings to go check out farmers markets anywhere from the city to the outlying areas. So it's nice to kind of bring it here to Bensenville and give people the opportunity to try it at home.
And since Music in the Park is such a widely attended event, it certainly gives them just an opportunity of one more thing that they can look at while they're here in Bensenville.
Exactly. I mean, bands sometimes occasionally might start late or, act all rock bandy. It might give you an extra 10 minutes while you're in line to grab some fresh fruits, some fresh groceries, things like that. And I don't think it's just limited to produce. It gives people the chance to just kind of further develop the town, walk around, the space between Railroad Avenue all the way back to where the concert venue is. It's a nice kind of short little walk. It's right near the train. It's just a nice way to showcase downtown Bensenville is for what it is.
And it's going to be from 3 o'clock till 8 o'clock.
3 to 8 p.m., that's
And
correct.
we will have parking marked for those people that want to
Absolutely.
come specifically for the farmers market.
Yes, there will be some parking, I believe, blocked off on that Wednesday morning. So some commuters going to the train that morning might see some spots, might not be available, I should say. But yes, it's kind of fairly conducive to the traffic off of York Road, and people should be able to slide right in.
Access it easily, great. So one of the things that we're doing in Bensenville is we're trying to work on having a healthier, happier Bensenville and a more fit Bensenville. So we're hoping that this farmers market will fit into the process of doing that.
Absolutely.
Have fresh produce.
Some of the produce is grown organically. So obviously that kind of eliminates what the perceived threat of pesticides and things like that. I mean, obviously you want to widen your market to as many people as you can. I think it's safe to say Americans are eating healthier these days, as well as residents of Bensenville. So it gives them the chance to kind of try it out and see what they think.
Great. So we've covered a lot of information tonight about Music in the Park. It's an event that we have had, as Bob said, for 15 years. This will be our 16th year. It's one of our biggest events in Bensenville, and we are very proud of it. So we hope all the residents in Bensenville continue to come out and enjoy it. It's a great night. It's free to the residents, so it's something that you should take advantage of. One of our other bigger events is 4th of July. We have a great parade as well as a great firework show and display, and we have bands for that as well. So we hope you continue watching Spotlight in Bensenville in the future so you can get more information on that. Thanks again for joining us this evening, and have a great night. Hope to see you back again next week.